Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be, wherever you are. Thank you for taking the time out to check out the Rock Hot Takes podcast, or maybe you found us from the To Hell with the Podcast. I don't know, and I'm just glad you're here. We're going to have a little bit of a history lesson today, as I have no idea how I popped onto this topic, but we're going to have a little history lesson talking about the parents music resource uh, the PMRC basically. So for those of you young heads, um, there's a little sticker that you might see if you're actually still buying physical content, that it might say explicit lyrics. For you old heads, a lot of you will know where that came from. But so the PMRC was a group started by a lady named Tipper Gore. Man, am I getting into this too fast? I don't know. I don't think so. It's fine. Um, so Tipper Gore was the wife of Al Gore, who was the vice president during the Clinton. So during the Clinton administration, let me finish my sentence. If you're not like so politically inclined, this might not be the one for you. Um, I'm not going to have a ton of like political opinions. I'm just going to tell you like how this whole thing kind of unfolded. Um, like I say, not going to have a ton of opinions. I may have a couple, but um, anyways. So so anyway, Tipper Gore, the wife of Al Gore, um, goes to buy her. Let's put this in context. Goes to buy her 11-year-old daughter a copy of Prince's Purple Rain, right? 11-year-old daughter, okay? And let's not forget some of the songs that are on that record. Darling Nikki, not being, let's not forget that one, because, she's masturbating, right? Sorry. It's a lyric in the dang song, right? And like I say, this might not be the show for you. I might be, kind of all over the place with some of this stuff because of the context of what we're talking about here. But and she kind of loses her mind, and she's connected. So, you know, her 11-year-old daughter heard the word masturbating in a song, and she's like, "Well, we got to have a committee, right?" And so she this sounds like a whatever housewives of whatever city kind of thing to me, because I when I went back and did the research for this, I'd kind of forgotten like how this whole thing. It's a bunch of political wives. There's no dudes on this committee, and so, not that I give a, but I'm just saying it's a bunch of political wives, and it's a mix of both parties. It's actually fairly bipartisan, which was kind of weird. But it was also in 1985, which we didn't have the beat you over the head politics stuff that we're dealing with in current times. So, um, so they formed this committee, and they make this list, and it was called the Filthy 15. And when I went through and was looking through this, I was like, all right, who was on the Filthy 15? And so as I was looking through it, and some of it was just kind of stupid, but I was, y'all know I love Prince, right? So connecting the dots from a lot of these guys to Prince, I was like, wow, the influence was kind of amazing, because like 5 of the Filthy 15 were connected back to Prince. Of course, you had some of the metal guys, Motley, AC/DC, Twisted Sister, Madonna, Madonna not metal, but Wasp, I mean, that's an easy target. But yeah, you had Prince, Sheena Easton, who had Sugar Walls at that point. Um, very sexy song, Vanity, Apollonia, you know. So there was like the whole circle of Prince stuff right there, and so moving forward, so they developed this rating system. So this whole thing. So think about this. You had this group of this committee of and, and I hate to sound like an ass, but you have this group of housewives, and I'm going to sound a little ignorant because I don't know what these ladies did before they were on this committee. I didn't do the homework on the other three Washington wives that were on this committee. I'm sure it was something important. At least I hope it was. But for them to jump on this thing was kind of. It seems like they had some time on their hands. But that being said, the PMRC came up with their own rating system for records, for recorded, whatever the hell you want to call it, whatever. And so they had an X, an O, a DA, and a V. So kind of like your movies, right? So X was overtly sexual, the O was the occult, the DA was the drugs and alcohol, and V was violent. And so that's what they put forth. So, so just for some examples, um, Motley Crue's "Bastard" was flagged as a violent song, and okay, whatever. And where's another one? And well, I got a couple, and one of them really stupid. AC/DC, let me put my love into you was flagged as sexual 5 years after it was actually released. So they went like it was like retrofitted. so, so that was dumb. But then the one that was weird is like we're not going to take it was flagged for violence. And if you listen to the lyrics of that song, it's not a violent song. It's about sticking up for yourself. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, I mean, so so here's where we are. They came up with this whole the committee that the stupid rating system and if we're talking about it in political terms, I mean, we'll get there in a minute, I guess. But I mean, for me, this is starting to look a little like censorship. I mean, think about it. So you're putting art in a bucket, and okay, these songs are over here, these songs are over here, and you have this committee that's saying, "Oh, we're judging what category of art this is," right? So that's weird. So so on September 19th of 85, for you young heads, I was 14 years old. Um, so this this Senate committee called so it was the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation, which I have no. I'm not going to sit here and say I know anything about any of that. I assume commerce is why they called musicians in to talk about the PMRC, and basically they were called in to defend their position on how they could write such horrible things, and the government couldn't step in and not censor the lyrics, but at least kind of say, "Hey, we're gonna put this in a category," right? So anyway, so they called in these three musicians, which again for you young heads, so D. Snider. I'm going to pull this up for just like a minute. And so, D. Snider, lead singer of Twisted Sister, from Long Island, New York. Um, couldn't look like in 1985. Couldn't look more like a badass. Um, walks walks onto the Senate floor, pulls his speech out of his back pocket like on just a piece of notebook paper. So I'm gonna see if I can let me see if I can pull this off. Because it's the most non-Senate thing ever. Um, let me see if I can pull this off. Hold on. I think I'm doing this right. So there's D. So yeah, there we go. So D's got he's sitting, sitting on the Senate floor with his notebook paper in his hand. So let's do this for a minute or so. There we go. Let me turn D off real quick. So anyway, so D's rolling up on the Senate floor, and I mean, I think they expected him to be just a stupid, metalhead, and that was not the case. So props to D, but that thing's like 30 minutes long. I'll put it in the show notes. So if you want to watch it, but there's more to it than that. Frank Zappa, who's like a hyper intelligent dude, um, he was also in that hearing, and one of the famous quotes from when he testified, I guess you call it testify, is if it looks like censorship and it smells like censorship, then it's censorship, no matter whose wife is talking about it. I mean, he kind of went after Tipper, um, but the kicker was John Denver, and for you new heads, um, he is the epitome of the like Christmas special cardigan wearing, just country roads take me home to the place where I belong. He was on the side of, you know, he was saying he was comparing this to book burning. He's like, you can't do this. So there were the artists were coming out as like, this is ridiculous. Um, so it was a very interesting little time because um, we had also gone through the stuff with Ozzy Osbourne and the Suicide Solution lawsuit, and if you don't know about that, go look it up. um, there was a kid that took his life, um, and the Osbourne camp got sued over that because they were blaming Suicide Solution as part of the reason that the kid took his life. And okay, whatever. That's You can form your own opinions on that, but we had just come through that like probably not even 2 years before. But yeah, this whole thing is crazy. But okay, so moving forward, so we get all these people coming through, and one of the things that was like kind of special was John Denver coming out on the side of the artist, and D. Snider even said, he's like, you would expect somebody like John Denver not to be on the side of the metal guys, right? So that was something that was kind of funny because you can go watch John Denver on the freaking Muppet Show. Actually, I think you can watch. Dang, I think you can watch Frank Zappa on the Muppet Show too. Ah, oh well. Don't quote me on either one of those things, but I think you can go watch both those guys on the Muppet Show. Definitely John Denver. I don't know about Frank Zappa, but I think I'm right about both of those things. But anyway, so moving forward. So anyway, the PMRC, they got their, so what they were pushing for was basically just a sticker or some kind of something that says, hey, explicit lyrics, just so you know, you might not want to buy this Prince record for your 11-year-old, you idiot. So, and by the way, maybe do some homework before you buy some things for your kids. I mean, sorry, I digress, but good Lord, buying Purple Rain for your 11-year-old, it means you don't know jack about Prince. But anyways, so the PMRC won. They got their little sticker. It's still, you young heads and you old heads know what I'm talking about. So the sticker's still out there. There's songs written about it. So I know Priest has one. I know Megadeth has one. I love the Megadeth song. Oh, come on, brain. Hook and Mouth. As long as there's a PMRC. Great Megadeth song. But the thing is, so once the sticker got put on all this material, as a young boy, you're like, oh crap, this is a naughty thing. I must have it. It's like finding your dad's like Playboy magazines, right? It's like, oh well, this is something I probably shouldn't have at a young age. Well, then I should have it. So, I mean, it really did backfire on them. So it was almost a marketing campaign that nobody saw coming, because once the stickers got stuck on there, it was like, oh well, obviously I need to listen to this. I mean, especially for the metal guys. I mean, that was mainly where it stuck. So it's just like, all right, it was literally free publicity for them. So I mean, it really did. It boosted sales for a bunch of bands. So it's like, yeah, all right, cool. So yeah, I mean, it was an interesting. I mean, I watched the Senate hearings. I think I watched them live because we didn't have YouTube in 1985, so I must have been on like CNN or something. But yeah, D. Snider walking in, because when you're used to seeing like D. Snider, you're used to seeing him in like the Twisted Sister, like all the makeup and all the stuff, and he just came in like raw, and and he pulled the speech out, and I was just like, all right, what's D gonna sound like, just off the cuff and whatever, and him sounding like super intelligent, and like they didn't know like how to react to that. It was absolutely like a thing you weren't expecting, of course, but yeah, it was just it was very interesting because I don't think I'd ever seen D outside of a Twisted Sister video. So for me, it was like, all right, it's good to know there are like smart metalheads. So, but for this particular thing, it was a thing that, because they were going after the metal guys for the most part. especially guys like Wasp was like overtly just like trying to be kind of gross and you know, and I don't care. I mean, I don't care. I mean, First Amendment, bro. I don't give a what you're talking about. You know, put it out there however you want to put it out there. It doesn't mean I have to consume it, but you know, when the government kind of steps in on that stuff, I'm sorry. I just can't. It's kind of where I step in on the AI stuff. It's like I don't want AI doing creative stuff. Um, and I don't want the government telling me what I can and can't create. So that is what this was. So they were like, well, we're going to put you in this bucket and this bucket and this sticker and this sticker, and it was just really stupid. So, but it really did backfire because it really did give a lot of free publicity to a lot of bands because you know, especially like mid tier like metal bands were getting the sticker and they were like, all right, cool, we'll take the sticker. So, um, but yeah, it was just really strange when you got like metal guys going in front of on the Senate floor talking about why do I have to defend my music to the United States government? I don't know, but I'm going to stop because I can feel my constitutional brain starting to come out a little bit. So, um, but yeah, I mean, I felt this was a really interesting time, um, especially for me because I was really starting to feel my musical roots starting to come out. Um, and so when they were having to be defended, I mean, and that's they were. Um, they were having to tell the government why they had no freaking business telling me what I can and can't talk about, and that meant a lot. Like back in the day, right? It's like if they're trying to tell you what you can and can't talk about. That's not how this is supposed to work. So, and even to this day, I don't care. It's like no, you can't tell me what I can and can't say. So, I mean, I know that sounds corny, I guess, but even to you new heads, don't let them tell you what you can and can't say. You can say whatever the hell you want to. Doesn't mean I have to consume it. So, anyways, but I mean, I don't know. I just thought this was a kind of interesting history lesson. I forgot about John Denver, and but I thought D. Snider's entrance was kind of badass. So, um, I thought I'd put this one out here today, and um, yeah. So I don't know. We still have the PMR stickers to this day, and so I don't know if you are a musician or in a band or anything, maybe strive to get your PMRC sticker. So anyway, guys, I think we're going to wrap this one up for today. So I love you guys and I will talk to you soon. Later.